Alright, YouTube fans of Barncat TV, I got one last clip for you for the year of 2012, I think. If nothing else, this is your clip. Let me get things set up here. Featuring a favorite PlayStation 2 game of mine called Monster Lab. Let's get things set up here for you, so you can not only see it, but you can hear it. Ooh. Now again, I apologize for the lines on the screen. I really can't do anything about that. It's just how the phone hates on the TV, I suppose. Let's get the screen centered here. Okay. I'm trying to get you the big picture here. This game was surprisingly sold at big lots for, a pittance, just cheapo, but it's actually more enjoyable than its price tag really would indicate. Even has a language selection here, which is kind of fun to mess with every now and then until you get so confused that you don't know what you're getting into. Of course they have English. They have Francois, Italiano, Deutsch, and Espanol. But we're going to go with English because, well, we're just not that well traveled. So, loading data, do not blah blah blah. I like to play these games minus the vibration. It lost its novelty about 2 years ago when it just got kind of annoying. Sometimes you just want to relax and play a game, not feel what's happening to you and stressing yourself out. These are the people that make the game. Bink. The fine print. Everybody loves the fine print. Fine print is always fun to read. That's why there's so much of it. Because it's in demand. So an old black and white TV, black and white film intro there adds the authenticity of the feel of it. Let's go ahead and step inside, though. Step inside Monster Lab for PlayStation 2. Okay, spooky haunted manor there. We'll go ahead and as our primary character. And there we go. This is where we step into the lab here. Let me show you what I've got created so far, too. I tried to use the best parts I had to create the best monsters, and, well, let's show you around the mansion here first. We'll go to the lightning tower here. This is where you create your monsters, choose the parts, and put them together, the parts that you've created in the other rooms. You've got the monster constructor there. You can choose to create or edit monsters that you've created. I've already created all 10 monsters that you're allowed here, so the monster limit has been reached. All I can do really is edit what I already have. But hey, I'm content with what I got. You'll see what I got in a bit here. We'll also check out the other things. Each of these 3 labs here leads to a different laboratory with a different doctor that aids you on your quests and trains you on how to make different parts. This is the workshop, biochamber, arcanium. The workshop is where Professor Fuseless is. He teaches you how to do mechanical parts, working with metal, robotics, stuff like that, with machines such as the Robo-Evolver, Weldotron, almost said Weirdotron. What the heck? It's weird. This is Professor Fuseless here, the hunchback with the robot arm over his head. There's also the fusion compactor and the hyper chopper. So that's his area. It looks mighty warm in there too, with all the warm colors and the foundry in the background there. So we'll step out, get a cool breath of fresh air, and check out what's going on in the biochamber. Sorry about that. That was a burp. we'll go to the biochamber and check out what's happening here. It's got a cool loading screen, I admit. Now, in this area here, you can build parts with such as the Armageddon. Guess what part of the body that creates? Stitch-o-matic. Each of these machines creates a different body part. This is the IQ injector. Talk to and cardio chaos. Now I forgot which one this was, what her name was, so we'll just click on talk and head over.
You really shouldn't be here. Try the wild woods.
Right, okay, that's Dr. Sonderbar. She is specializing in life sciences, stitching all sorts of different types of animals and plants together to make critters. So we'll head out of there. There was so much pollen in that room, I think my allergies are acting up. Next we'll head into the Arcanium. This is the realm of Dr. Della Sombra. He's more of a magic alchemist type. This shows you how to make monsters out of non-living materials such as clay, crystals, and paranormal elements. The machines you work with in here are among my favorites, actually, especially since I've recently mastered them, like the Mystic Maelstrom, the Element Inferno, Haunted Organ, and Astral Rift. So yeah, it's kind of it is an arcanium. You've got all these arcane elements in there. And so, which brings us to our next area here. You see all three of these guys help you with your missions. And, yeah, they each give you advice and, directions to go. And this is where you go to get missions done here. You go down to the command room. The command room has a few different elements to it. Just basically the troublescope gives you an idea of where in the lands you're needed. We'll click on the troublescope and check out the places we've been. I think we've almost got this game licked, but sure did take a while. First town you start out in is Cobbleshire, that has a mayor that's having problems with monsters invading and scaring him and his voters away. Next you have the Neverglades, where we found Dr. Sonderbar and talked her back into rejoining the cause with Dr. Fuseless and hence getting some stuff done. Next we went to Tombstone Rise. That was where we found Della Sombra and talked him back into moving back in with the other two. Because there was a falling out between those three that resulted from a disagreement with a fourth doctor, which we'll be getting to very soonly here. This is the junk stack where Fuseless sent us to get more metal parts, better metal parts. We found alloys in there to make our parts even stronger, at least for the robotic monster and robotic monster parts. And finally, this is where we're at now here, the Wildwoods, helping forest spirits reclaim their magical forest from the corruption of Marty Manor. This is Baron Marty's manor. Looks like a mushroom cloud there. Basically, he's a piece of work. Say we want to go to a town like Wildwoods. It'll give us the option to look at different monsters here to choose. Let me show what I've made so far. This is Iron Machine. Pure metal, best of the metal parts I had. Laser, robot arm, fusion core, Brainiac 3.0 brain, and missile levitation legs, floaters, missile floater. This is Shade Jester, my paranormal alchemic one, made up of demon and dragon parts, and it's got a Grim Shroud head, electrical arm, limbo shooter arm, that volcanic looking rock thing here, the imp body, and shadow floater, so it looks like he ain't got no legs. Ball head, no legs. Next we have Biomassacre. This is kind of a new name monster for me. I went ahead and made him look like he was made up of different serial killers. So you've got prisoner legs, strapped body, one big muscular fighter arm, a bayonet arm, and a shrouded burlap head. Nasty piece of work, that. This is Scarapace, first of my hybrids I made up of living and alchemic parts. He's definitely made for beating, but he's got the Cthulhu or Zulu dreaming head, which kind of gives him a bit of the brains to go with his brawn, along with his plated shoulder armor, torso, and shale legs. This is Zeitgeist. Alchemic meets technology here, with robotic floater legs, and a robotic kite shield, but an animated jaguar skull sitting on top of sculpted, clay type golem body with a corsair hook arm. Part pirate, part knight, but all awesome. This is Technovore. Biology meets technology here. In this truly extraterrestrial nightmare, I almost called him the extra-testicular, but that would have been crude and immature of me. So, he's basically made up part of sea creatures, part UFO parts, so I thought, that'd be kind of good to have. He's got a long reach to make up for his short legs. This is Crucifer. I forgot what I made him of. Oh yes, he's another biology alchemy mix here. He's got the vampire head, but a nice big blood rose shooter arm to go with his other magus arm. A Neptune body sat atop strap or fragment legs, something like that. But definitely a tough customer. Next we have Frostbite. Oh, that's a piece of work. He's got a D-clamp arm on one side and a bone claw on the other, so he's made to put the bite on you. With a pumpkin head, colossus body, and faun legs. Faun as in satyr, as in goat people. Definitely a piece of work. One of my toughest. This is Crypto Knight. A frog head and quill shark arm strapped onto a mechanical body of a tower crane arm, boilerplate torso, and mechwork legs. And finally, BCL Metaform, the leader of the group. He's made up of all the leftover parts after I made up all those other guys, so he's got a hornet for an arm, but he could definitely put the sting on you. An Etten arm with the other one, super strong, kind of troll-like arm. Does a ground pound attack that pretty much lays the hurt on thick. A rotten head, kind of zombie looking, but really cool because the jaw moves up and down like nom 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 nom. Pupa body for insect-like speed and durability. And metallic rousty legs, the robot clown setup. So he's basically a very mixed up critter, but hey, he gets by. So basically you choose your monster, you throw him into a cannon, and you launch him. And he lands, and he does the mission. And then you go loading, 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 and get them doggies loading, loading. I'll show you a little bit what a combat looks like here. I'm probably going to get my A handed to me, but this has been a really rough stage for me to try to complete. So we're going to go, we're going to pick a fight. Yes! Now, you'll run into other monsters that are created by Baron Marty. He drops them, all over the place, and they basically start wherever they can. Chaos and mayhem, and basically just obstructing everything you try to do. There's my guy. Now, each of these elements has weaknesses. What we're dealing with here is a monster that's mostly composed of alchemical parts. He's got the Naga floater, the wyvern body, demon arm, magus arm with only the living head for durability. So we're going to go ahead and put the stinger to him. Alchemy is weak against life. Life is weak against metal, Metal is weak against the chaotic magics of alchemy. We're going to go ahead and put the stinger on it again. Oops. Can't do that yet, can we? Now each part of your body has a different attack. Like you can do a snap kick with your legs. You can do punching and projectile attacks with your arms. Bite or projectile or headbutt attacks with your head. Can't do anything with your torso, but basically your torso keeps the rest of you alive, so we gotta make sure we do that by dodging. And he just recharged his energy reserves, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the same too. Actually, I don't need to. I'm just gonna dodge again, because every now and then it works, and he misses, and I come back hard again with. Let's give him another stinger shot and get him out of my picture. Ooh! Now you see these monsters has a name too, as well as your own, but some of these names will repeat themselves. I've faced the Mangler before, but under different guys. Here we go. Let's recharge my guy again. I'm eager to get this battle over with already. I'm going to put the stinger to him again. Disassemble his entire existence. Alright. And that's victory for me. You see that I've got 185 wins and 25 losses. It's not the most impressive, but it'll have to do. Each fight will get you parts. Parts will get put together into different, or ingredients will get put together into parts. Parts to monsters. Monsters to missions. Missions to further glories. After each mission, it's highly suggested that you repair your monster. You go to field repairs. It gives you a certain amount of time to spin your joystick around as fast as you can to get parts. In this case, our legs took a heavy beating, so we're going to roll on up, roll on, a little bit on the torso, and just a bit on the head, and I think we're done. Okay. So that's Monster Lab, one of those unappreciated treasures found on the shelves, underpriced, but luckily if they weren't, I wouldn't have been able to afford it. This is Barncat TV with probably the last video of 2012, so I encourage you to watch, enjoy, and check out my other stuffs in the archives, all the way at the beginning. Pack a lunch. It's a long, fun watch. And that's a wrap.